How you doing? I'm Sean. I'm from sunny Glasgow, and I own and operate Aventiseco. This is one of my favourites. So this building's a mixture of old limestone. The walls are 600 mil thick. Half of the property isn't insulated. We've got underfloor heating in half of the property. Then we've got radiators, and then upstairs is 8 mil microbore going to the radiator. So it was like a proper challenge. And even when I first came, I was like, "Oh, this is a tricky one." Duncan had an oil boiler, and he was very concerned about getting rid of it, which to me it made total sense. Get rid of it, right? Because I know an air source heat pump will work. I can make it work, right? And I think him and his wife more so were like, no, let's try and keep it just in case it doesn't work. And I was like, listen, please just have faith in me. This will work. If a heat pump doesn't work, it's not the heat pump's fault. It's my fault. And if it's my fault, I'll rectify it. So we went down that road, and we also did solar panels and battery storage. I knew they were getting a hybrid car. The rear of the roof was south facing, so it was pretty much a no brainer. Let's do it. If you're going to do it, and do it right. The walls in most of the house are 600 mil thick. Then you've got another section at the front of the house, which is a kind of more newer build that was done in the past 10-15 years, I think it was. So I need to try and calculate how the heat is moving through that building at different rates. So down here on the ground floor, you've got these 600 mil limestone solid walls. This part has got some insulation. Then you go through into the kitchen, and it's just bare stone walls with underfloor heating. Then in here's a mix. So we need to calculate, especially with flow rates as well, how fast we're moving the water round here, because that area might need the flow going there faster to make sure the DT of 5 stays the same, and we can heat that area sufficiently. The other challenge with this property was it had pumps everywhere. So it had a pump in every single manifold. I had one at the oil boiler, and I like the open loop design. I want to treat the house is a box to me. I don't want to heat different areas. That's 21 degrees, that's 23 degrees, that's 15 degrees. I want to just heat everywhere evenly. So we removed all of the pumps. I repiped all of the underfloor heating at the manifolds, and you'll see there we've got brand new copper pipe working in. So everything's open loop. There's only one pump. One pump does this whole house. It's huge, you can see it, and that's from that Panasonic M series teacap out there. That sufficiently and easily pumps all the water around this house and keeps it, well, as you can see, warm. I chose the Panasonic particularly because of how good the pump in it. It's got an available head of 13.5 metres roughly, and it can literally pump through any sort of pipe work, any underfloor heating, any microbore, and as long as I can do my calculations right and make sure the velocity is okay, I know it'll push through anything, and it'll still run really, really efficiently. That's the key part. So we can go for different heat pumps, we can go for different brands, but some of them might only have a 5 metre head on them, 5.5, 7, 8 or 9, and then I may struggle. So I need to find out what the index circuit was. So we've found out what the index circuit was. We're comfortably meeting that index circuit. So once I do that, I know the rest of the house will be warm. But it's all about just picking the right heat pump for the job. I'm not a brand snob. I fit other makes as well. There is other brands that I fit. But what I'll do is I'll just look at each house individually, and I'll go, right, that's the pump for the job. Not that one because it's got a fancy name or some fancy branding, or I'm getting incentives to go and do that one, or X, Y and Z. I'm going to fit what's right for that customer. Ultimately, whoever's house I'm designing or looking at, they live there. I don't. I've got my own preferences. I've got the way I would like my house, but I don't live there. I don't pay the bills, right? So it is ultimately, I'll have to sit down and have a conversation with yourself or a customer and go, right, how do you live in this house? Are you in here half a day, all day? You only here at the weekends? Have you got kids? Are you using a lot of hot water? Every single thing is took into consideration. I even had a customer recently who says, all right, Sean, I only need 100 litres worth of water. But he was building this big, fancy, beautiful 4-bedroom new build. And I was like, hold on a minute. I get where you're coming from, but you're planning on selling this house. This is a family home. Let's just put a bigger cylinder in. Let's do the job properly, but it won't cost you any more. It'll still be the same running cost. And he's like, all right, okay, that makes sense. So as much as, yeah, it's the customer's decision, it's their house, I still need to guide people in the right direction to make sure that they're not making any mistakes, and then they can trust me and I'll do the right thing for them. So with this house, so we've got 3/4 of the ground floor that is underfloor heating. Then in the living room that we're sitting in the dining room, there's 5 radiators. We only had to change 2 radiators in here for the heat loss calculations, but since he was such a nice customer and I was here anyway, I just ended up changing the 5 for him. So we've did that. They stayed on the 8mm microbore because it's concreted in. So we're not lifting concrete, we're not digging trenches, we're not doing that in anybody's house. That's not an option for me, right? If we had chance to go underneath maybe a solum or a suspended floor, then possibly. But I did the calculations and it works. Same with upstairs, brand new oak floors, beautiful everywhere. Customers like, I don't want these floors ripped up. So I was like, right, okay, we're right on the limit here. We're right on the limit. But I still did the index circuit calculations and it worked out fine. So I was like, right, okay, this is probably one of the ones where it's got a high heat load, sandstone. Upstairs is in the new extension bit, so there's less of a load. And I was like, right, I think it'll work. And I did the calculations. The calculations said it'll work. Fitted it. First day I fitted it, and this winter again, he's complained to me the house was too warm. So we've had to go back in, and this is normal. We'll go back in and we'll help the customer set up the weather compensation. I've got what I call Aventis Eco family chats. So if you buy a system from me, whether it be an air source heat pump, solar panels, battery storage, or even a service, you then go into a WhatsApp group chat, yourself, your wife, a partner, whoever it may be, whoever's living in that house, and that group chat is private to yourself. I'm in it, somebody in the office is in it, one of the engineers can get oversight of it. So for the lifetime that you live in that house, until you sell that house or whatever happens, you can just WhatsApp into Aventis Eco. One of us will just chat to you straight away and give you an answer there and then, so that you're not having to wait maybe 2 days for an email on how to change hot water settings or adjust your weather curve, because heat pumps are getting smarter, don't get me wrong, but you still need to adjust your weather curve when it comes into winter, and then when it comes into the spring and the shoulder months. There is technology coming out now with AI integrated that's kind of learning that will do that for you, but it's not quite there yet for every heat pump, so that's why I've still taken that personal approach with my customers. For an installer that doesn't understand the house or the physics or how it works, you're never going to get an efficient system, or you'll end up with a cold house. You need to know the basics, you need to know everything. And I've done lots and lots of training, still training to this day. I've got engineers that I lean on. If you don't know what you're doing, it's never going to work. It's not like a gas boiler. Gas boilers are cheap, they're cheap to run. People were firing in 25, 35, 45 kilowatt boilers in 3-bedroom houses. It was like, cool, fire it in, turn it on, 80-degree temperature water going through it. It didn't matter if you had rubbish pipework or it was the wrong size or the radiator was too wee. It was just overpowering the house, and it was cheap to run. Times have changed, right? And a heat pump runs off electricity, and that pump is powered by electricity. So if you don't get that right, that pump is just going to work harder, and you're going to see it when you get your energy bill in each month. So that's why it's my job to make sure that that's as low as possible, and it beats gas, and all my installs do. The efficiency rating of this house is running regularly over 400%, and this is us pretty much in the depths of winter. Last week, -5, -4, we had a few days there where it was sitting at 0 degrees all day long. Toasty warm in here, 20, 20.5, 21, 21.5, whatever you want. I can design your house to whatever you want, and it will stay that temperature. And that is also the good thing about that big Panasonic M series out there. It might look like a big thing, but that'll keep that temperature all the way down to -20. That'll pump out the rating that it's set at.